Yo, what's going on? Come on in, family. How y'all doing? What's going on? How y'all doing? What's going on? How y'all doing? Shalom to all of you out there. Grace, peace, and blessings to you all. Definitely have a subject of conversation that I want to have with you guys. And shalom, peace, blessings to you all. Greetings in the name of the Most High God, in the name of our Christ, our Savior. And want to talk about some things this morning, all right? Definitely want to talk about some things this afternoon, shall I say, not this morning, this afternoon, regarding some things. So let me see here. Well, we'll get started right here shortly, and give me like 5 minutes to send out the invite. All right, definitely be getting started here, like 3 minutes, and definitely go from there. But it's something that I want to talk about, something I want to say, and we're gonna go from there, all right? All right, good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon. Grace, peace, and blessings to you all my brothers and sisters out there. Those of you who carry this Bible with a major responsibility, those who don't use this Bible to abuse and whatnot. And so I'd like to thank all of you for definitely joining. It's a subject of conversation or a topic at hand that I purposely, intentionally waited for a while before I addressed it or had any form of conversation. I just wanted all of the hoopla to kind of die down and whatnot. I didn't want to get into a whole lot of conversation about this particular subject, even though brothers and sisters, hit me up and was asking me my thoughts about it. And we had one type of particular conversation on a message board. Someone that was being very disrespectful that I had to block. And it was a conversation that didn't even have anything to do with Kendrick Lamar or any of Kendrick Lamar's lyrics regarding him saying he was an Hebrew Israelite and don't call him black and different things like that. And so people began to come into the conversation, and the conversation of the post had nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar. And on my page, you guys know on my page, on my friends list, I have a whole lot of different people, from Christians to Hebrew Israelites to atheists, to all kind of people that have different beliefs. Some people are in between trying to find the truth and all these things. And I don't block people because they disagree with me or, I disagree with them. I block people when they be disrespectful and when they want to continue to be disrespectful, posting things that have nothing to do with the conversation. So we're all adults here. The thing is, that's the very first and foremost thing, that because of the way the system is so structured, it's hard to get everybody to believe everything, everybody to be on the same page when it comes down to what they believe. Some people on my page believe that you don't have to tithe. Some do believe you have to tithe. All right. My thing is, as adults and those of us who say we carry this Bible and we say that Christ is our Savior and we serve the true and living God, we should be adults in our disagreements. We should be mature. If it's something I don't agree with you on, or you don't agree with me on, and it's a non-salvation issue, that shouldn't be a problem to cause us to end a relationship, because ultimately, when it comes down to personal preferences, even though the apostles didn't agree doctrinally, but when it came down to personal preferences, they didn't agree. Now, we can agree doctrinally, and it can be a non-salvation issue, and we can all still work together and towards the kingdom. If there's a doctrinal issue with tithing or anything like that, that's not going to stop me from loving you as a brother or a sister. That's not going to stop me from fellowshipping with you. Hey, I would even if you don't believe in tithe, or you do, that won't even stop me from having you to come in to speak or teach brothers and sisters, because that's a non-salvation issue. We have to come to a median in the road of things that's a non-salvation issue and put them on the table and say, okay, brother, that's fine. But we believe that Christ is the Savior. We believe that he's the Messiah. He is the only way, not one of many ways. And those are foundational issues that are salvation issues that we can work together on. And who knows, as the relationship grows, there are things that I can learn and you can learn. But if we continue to come to this place of disagreement and it's causing a major problem, that makes no sense. Now let's get to the conversation about Kendrick Lamar. Now, this is the thing. Again, those who just now joining, I purposely and intentionally waited before I even addressed the issue, because it was so much heat and tension. And the thing is, when it's a lot of tension and heat, and things can be said and people can misinterpret what you're saying, it can be misconstrued, it can be all kinds of things that can go on, because people's minds, or they're upset and their spirits aren't in the right place, their mind aren't in the right place. And so people, because they see people on my page who have Hebrew names and all these different things, they tend to automatically, it's a wall comes up, all because of Kendrick Lamar. And the thing is, that is a immature believer. You see a person's name should not dictate and determine you condemning them. All right. All because they have a name that says Israel or Yisrael. Brothers and sisters, come on here and say shalom, shalom, peace, greetings. I have no problem with those. That's not a problem. Like, that's seriously not an issue. If you have a major issue with certain things of that caliber, then you need you need deliverance. I'm serious. You need deliverance. All right. You need some serious deliverance going on, because that makes no sense. Okay, then the person they came in, start throwing up, oh yeah, you must be this and you must be that, all because people names and because people are saying this and saying that. Everybody that's on my page, who's my friend right now, they are respectable. And those know who've been following me. And see, this is the problem that I have with people who only respond into a post when it comes to disagreement. Now, you have people who say they believe in the Lord, but yet, when I'm out here feeding the homeless, when I'm out here helping somebody, they don't click like. They don't say, hey, brother, keep doing what you're doing for the Lord. But as soon as they see something they don't agree with, then they bum rush the page and want to post all these comments and all this kind of stuff. You're a devil. That's what you are. You are a devil in the name of Christ. A devil, because it makes no sense. You don't applaud the good things, but you're always looking for something bad to go down. That makes no sense. Okay, it makes no sense. So the thing is that when it comes down to it, I got brothers, I got white people, I got Asian people, Spanish people. It don't matter to me. All right, it doesn't matter to me. There are people who are on my page that don't believe that other nations can get into the kingdom, but I do. But I haven't blocked them. I haven't blocked them. So if you get blocked from me, it's because you being a straight up devil. All right, and I'm not gonna have that. I'm not gonna have disrespect on my page. All right, this is my platform and my page. That's the thing about Facebook. Everybody got their own password and their own profile. I don't go on nobody's page trying to tell them what they can say on their page. Just like don't come on my page trying to tell me what I can say or anybody that's my family, because I consider everybody that's on my friends list family. You're not my friends, you're my family. So at the end of the day, if I see any disrespect, I don't care who it is, I'm going to check you. All right. So the thing is, it has to be character and integrity. Now let's get to this whole conversation. All right. A lot of Christian rappers, I'm not saying all of them because I don't know all of them, but I know, and I've been watching during the time that I have not responded. I've been watching. I've been seeing posts. There are two, okay, two types of people when it comes down to this Kendrick Lamar issue. You got the Christian rapper who's the groupie. Now, y'all know, let me tell y'all something. Y'all know, if y'all been following me for a while, matter of fact, before Facebook, there are people who are on my page that are my family who've been following me. Again, I'm not talking about blood family. Everybody on my page is family. All right? Everybody on my friends list. There are people who know me before Facebook Live. Personally, we've done events together. We've done all these things. And y'all know, I don't choose no side. I don't play partiality. I don't do none of that stuff. All right. I didn't do none of that stuff before I got delivered. And doggone sure when I come into the kingdom, I'm not going to play those type of games. I don't believe in politics in the belief system or in what we believe in this Bible. And if anytime there's politics, there's always room for corruption. All right. I don't play them games. Now, for those of you who know me through Facebook, all right, y'all know, since I've been coming on, I don't play no sides. All right. I don't choose. If you're wrong, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You're right, you're right. When it comes down to the scriptures, that's it. Hands down. So I've talked about all kind of other people. All right. When it came down to this, I dealt with the Christian. I dealt with the Hebrew Israelite. I done dealt with all kind of people. Now, let me deal with you Christian rappers. All right. Straight up. And the thing is, and I'm a firm believer, if you aren't qualified or have not been in the field, you can't have anything to say. Okay? I'm qualified to make a statement about Christian rappers. Why? Because I rap the gospel. Okay? I still do. I'm a teacher. I started out rapping the gospel. So therefore, if I haven't done that, if I can't speak on singers let me say this, I can't speak on a doctor or a lawyer. I don't practice in the field of law. I'm not a surgeon. So I can't deal with conversations in that area because I'm not qualified to deal with the areas of that area, of the areas of being a doctor, a lawyer, or anybody else. But I've worked in the field of music, entertainment, as well as the scriptures. So when I'm dealing with something, I'm not just talking about something just to be a part of something, to have something to say. Okay, I'm qualified enough to have this conversation with y'all. Now, there are some Christian rappers. You have two types. You got the ones who are upset because Kendrick Lamar has said something that they didn't like, all because they seen some jokers on YouTube who are Hebrew Israelites acting the fool. So now you automatically associate Kendrick Lamar with the Hebrew Israelites who act the fool, not knowing, because you haven't educated yourself enough to know that just like there are different denominations in Christianity, there are different belief systems and different sects in the Hebrew Israelites. You can't make a statement by thinking that, because Kendrick said he was a Hebrew Israelite, now you're making a statement by simply saying, because he said that, you're associating him with all the rest of the Hebrew Israelites who acting a fool out here. Okay? You have other Hebrew Israelites who believe all nations can get into the kingdom and all kind of different things. They believe they just pretty much act close to some of the Christians, like the Baptists and all them who still teach the commandments and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so you have to do your research. Now, you have those, the groupie, who feel as though, hey man, it's just no different than anybody else who was a secular artist who accepts Christ as their savior, and now he's turning around doing the gospel. Now, every Christian rapper want to do a song with him, not because of salvation, not because of the fellowship, but because they feel like this is going to open up a door for them to succeed. See, you got to understand how this thing works. You got that type of Christian rapper, okay, who's the groupie. He's a groupie with Kendrick. Kendrick. Now I can't get down with the Hebrew Israelite thing, but maybe this may open up a door because I want to do a show with Kendrick. Then you have the Christian rapper who's mad. He's upset because Kendrick just came out and said he's a Hebrew Israelite. He don't care about nothing else. He don't care what Kendrick, he don't care what Kendrick is. He don't care about Kendrick proclaiming Christ All he cares about is because Kendrick said he was a Hebrew Israelite. Now he is angry. Brothers and sisters, Christian rapper, ye who is angry. Why are you angry? I'll tell you why you're angry. Okay? Or let me phrase this. You yourself have gotten to a place of saying that it's not relevant. See, you have to understand something. There's a thin line between being relevant and compromise. Now, many people don't know the difference between relevant and compromise. All right? People are compromising in the name of being relevant. And yet they're slapping the title relevant on it when they're really compromising. Okay? That's the problem with some of the Christian rappers. Now, they've gotten to a place where they feel as though, oh, you know what? It's not relevant to call myself a Christian rapper. You can't reach anybody by calling yourself a Christian rapper. You can't reach anybody by putting the gospel message in your music. We have to be smart and use wisdom. We have to do all these. Then they come up with all these different philosophies and these different things by simply saying, hey, you know what? Hey, listen, we can't use the Bible anymore in our messages and our music. And understand it. You forgot the mission. You say God called you. But God don't call you to compromise. The reason why, and you missed it. You missed the reason why Kanye West did Jesus Walk. You missed the reason why DMX did Lord Give Me a Sign. You missed the reason why LL did a song with Mary Mary. You missed the reason why a lot of these rappers in the secular industry doing songs with gospel artists or doing a song talking about God. You know why you missed it? You missed it is because you are not spiritually woke. You are title driven. You are in the name of relevant driven, and you missed it. Those brothers and sisters are crying out. Do you know the reason why people begin to flock? Remember, at one point in time, Lecrae called himself a Christian rapper. Do you know the reason why, which he doesn't go by the title anymore? Do you know the reason why the secular artists flocked to Lecrae during that time? It's because they were crying out. And not only that, they were looking for something to fill the void that they do not have. And when Lecrae, not being ashamed, I've seen this before. I've seen, many of you know, I've gone up in the clubs preaching the gospel through rap music. And when I come off the stage, the people run up on me saying, brother, pray for me. Now, I didn't tell nobody, hey, I'm going to be over here on the side. Come pray. I'll pray for you. Hey, I'm going to be over here. I'm doing this. And, hey, if you want some Bible scriptures, I'll talk to you. I didn't do any of that. I went in the place of darkness, put my name on the list as one who raps the gospel. Of course, when they introduced, they laughed. Because they didn't expect a brother or somebody to come into the club where everybody's smoking and drinking. And after the record, the spirit moved so mighty. When I just walked up the stage, people bum rush in the corner trying to find, hey man, I don't have a problem with God. I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with people represent him. Hey, I'm going through this. Can you pray for me? Hey, I'm doing this and doing that. Some people put their drink down. Some people did this. All that kind of stuff. Because the people in those dark places, they are looking for something, looking for truth. They're trying to fill the void. The reason why the secular artists flocked to Lecrae was because he was different. They did not expect him to come in their area. They did not expect him to proclaim the gospel the way it was. And the people flocked. Now, when you have flocked, you're going to have groupies that flock, and you're going to have those who are genuinely connecting to you spiritually. But now, you've seen the success of what Lecrae doing. You've seen the success of him saying, hey, you know what? I don't go by the Christian rapper title anymore. That may have been his assignment. You are totally forgetting the purpose. The purpose is each and every last one of us have an assignment, a different lane we're going down to meet a common goal, a common destination. And that is preaching the gospel. Regardless, your lane may not be mine. I go into the streets. I was connected with street people. You may have been growing up in Beverly Hills. That may not be your lane, but the destination is bringing people into the kingdom. Don't try to run in my lane. But the problem is you saw the success of what Lecrae did because he stripped the name off of his name. And now everybody, because they're following Lecrae, now everybody is stripping the name off of their name and it's not their assignment. And the thing is that now the world is laughing at you. Nobody is attracted to you anymore because you stripped, you've compromised. And now here comes Kendrick Lamar. Now all of a sudden you're angry because you don't understand. For one, you putting them in a category with everybody else, all the other Hebrew Israelites, not knowing his story. And then now you turn around and now you're angry and upset. But you don't want to go by the title. You don't want to put the gospel in your music anymore. How are the people who are in darkness are going to see a light when those who are supposed to be in the light have dimmed their light and turned their porch light off? If you're driving, they're looking for the light. The people are driving, looking for light. The artists in the secular industry are driving, looking for the light. But all they see is a neighborhood full of houses that have no porch lights on. And therefore, they don't know where to stop to because you look just like them. But if you say you're called out, you don't come out to turn around and go back in looking the same. You're supposed to be the salt. You're supposed to be the light. But guess what? The Most High God, it's not going to be too many times he's going to tell you. It's not going to be too many times he's going to talk to you about something. He will simply just raise up somebody else. And however he does it, and whatever they say, it's going to be in tune and lined up with the Father, because the mission of him is to bring souls into the kingdom. That's all God is. All he's doing is he's going to raise up whoever he wants in the way that he wants from to proclaim the gospel. But you're missing the point. You're upset. Why are you upset? You don't want to put the gospel. You said nobody want to hear that. You said don't nobody want to hear that. Nobody's being able to be reached. Nobody want to be. You said it's not relevant. It's not relevant to call myself this. Who told you that? What prophet? Or what disciple or anybody? Did anybody deny or water down their message to reach people? Can you name one prophet? Did Christ water down his message to reach people? Did Peter, Paul, did Jeremiah, did Daniel, did David, did any of them water down their message to reach people? You don't deny who you are to reach people. It simply doesn't work that way. He called you out. Now there's a terrible thing that's happened in the land. The leadership is languished. Now those who are supposed to be in the front line in the entertainment industry, now you're languished. You can't tell the difference between the secular rapper and the Christian rapper. You can't tell the difference how they dress. You can't tell the difference in their message. You can't tell the difference between the singers, the gospel singers, and the R&B singers. You can't tell the difference in the way they dress or their message. So since there can't be a distinguishing of difference, then the Most High God is going to raise up a standard to make sure that there's a difference. It's going to be somebody being raised up to say something different than everybody else. And now, those who are in the so-called secular industry, they'll end up proclaiming what you were supposed to. And you can't blame anybody but yourself. You can't blame anybody else but yourself, because you choose to deny who you say called you to be. You choose to deny and proclaim the good news. We can't we can't talk about this, we can't talk about that. I'm not saying put a scripture in every single verse, but the problem is you are taking and watering down the message all in the name of being relevant. God don't need you to be relevant. He needs you to be different. If you're different, he's going to make you relevant. It's a difference. You're not supposed to look like the people you're supposed to reach. You aren't supposed to talk like the people that you're supposed to reach. You aren't supposed to act like the people that you're supposed to reach. He don't need you to be relevant. He needs you to be righteous, and he needs you to be different. It's a thin line between compromise and being relevant. You can easily step over the line of compromise thinking that you're being relevant. And then all of a sudden you find yourself at the end of the road wondering how you failed. Because the only thing that's keeping you from falling is the Spirit of God. That's it. Everybody want to be famous. Everybody want somebody to know their name. And people are now willing to do whatever it takes to get that. You were beating down the church doors at one point in time, which the Lord never created gospel rap or rap gospel, whatever you want to call it. He never intended it for it to be solely in the church. It was supposed to be a place that was given to the church, because the gifts are set in the church first, for the people of God first. Yes, you're supposed to present that gift of rap gospel to the people of God, but it's not the primary area. That music, the music in which he's structured and created, is supposed to be for the people, but also it's supposed to be a form of witness to the people who aren't coming. But you kept beating on the door. Hey, let us in. Let us in. Now, finally, you've gotten in. And now you don't want to even present the gift to the body anymore. Your whole thing is driven to present your gift to the world, and in hopes that the world will stamp you. And the problem is the world is going to eat you alive, because when you walk away from the Father and you begin to turn around and you begin to compromise, to do anything just to get anywhere, then you're going to find yourself looking no different. We're seeing it all the time. We're seeing it from the TV shows to the artists. That world who was intrigued by you, that world who was intrigued by the God in you, is now laughing at you. And now they're making songs about you. There's secular artists making songs about those who's supposed to carry the gospel. And they're saying we can't see no difference. Why do we need to come to that God that they serve when they're looking no different than us? There's even stories of people that I know in the entertainment industry talked about how at the awards and different stuff like that, the gospel artists are bringing in more women into the hotel room than the secular artists are. Come on, these are facts. You can't tell the difference. Now you're being exploited by the very industry that you're supposed to reach. You looking at preachers of LA and preachers of Atlanta and all these different things. They look pretty much just like housewives of Atlanta and all these different places. You can't tell the difference. You can't tell the difference. And the Lord is not about confusion. He's about making sure that he's not about relevant. He's about righteous. And he's about separation, not isolation. He called you out of the world, called out ones to be separate, but not isolate. Because you can't isolate yourself from the people that you're trying to reach. You're missing the whole point. And so you're mad at Kendrick. But I just want to leave this with you. I want to say this to you. Don't be mad at Kendrick. You might as well hold that anger and that rage. Because it's a whole lot of them that you're going to have to be angry with. It's a whole lot of them. Kendrick just kicked it off. It's a whole lot of them. The very ones that you felt, I'm talking about some of the ones that's all even believing in 5%, all 5%ers and Muslims and all these other brothers that's in the rap industry. They finna wake up too. And when they wake up and start declaring, you gonna stop. Well, wasn't he a 5%? Wasn't Common a 5%? Wasn't this brother 5%? Now all of a sudden, now they waking up and they pushing the gospel. And now you looking like, wait a minute, what in the world is going on? What is going on? Because the Lord is all about making sure his word does not return void. And whoever he got to raise up, no matter how it looks, it's going to be within the scope and within the lane of being righteous. It's going to sound different, but it's still going to be righteous. And if you don't have spiritual ears, because it's a whole lot of people out here. It's a whole lot of people out here whose ears can hear, but they deaf when it comes spiritually. They can't hear the spirit talking, but they can hear you call their name. And if you're missing it, you're getting upset for no reason. Save the anger, brothers and sisters. Trust me, save it. Save the anger, because it's a whole lot of them jokers about to wake up. Time is getting, y'all keep talking about time is getting short, that the Lord on his way back. You got doggone right he is, and that's why he going to raise up whoever it takes. He said, I raise up the rocks, the trees, anybody. I raise them all up to start declaring. I'm not concerned about pleasing you and making you happy. You're going to be upset just like them Pharisees when the true disciples get raised up. When them true disciples get raised and they start declaring what the Lord's saying, it's going to be radical. It's going to be like nothing you never heard before, but it's going to be in the spirit. But if you don't recognize and don't have the spirit to identify it, you're going to misinterpret it and you're going to fight against it. And what's going to happen is when you're not fighting against them, you're fighting against the hand of the Lord. That is the worst thing you can do, is fight against the Lord. You don't want to fight against him. Stop listening to what something sounds like and make sure you interpret what it is. All right? Because a whole lot of people running around here and saying they all in their personal, caught up in their feelings and can't recognize and realize what the Lord is doing. And if you don't catch it, you're going to mess around. You're going to be standing right over there, just like them Pharisees. Because you missed it. And the very ones who's supposed to have been pushing it, the very ones who's supposed to have been reaching the lost through the music, are the very ones that decided that, oh, you know what? That's not relevant. It's not relevant anymore. I'm a rapper that's Christian. And you come up with all kind of ways and all kind of terms to justify what you want to do. And the Most High God ain't deal like that. He didn't deal like that. He did not go and compromise. That's one thing. And I ain't talking about titles. I could care less about a title, whether it's Christian rapper, gospel rapper, rapper that's Christian. Your motives and your actions is what determines what you're doing. And now you come to the place where you don't even fellowship with your own brethren anymore. You don't fellowship with your own brethren. The very brethren that you say that y'all all Christian rappers, yeah, all it is a big social club, a big social meeting. You have a conference and it's a social meeting. Everybody flattering each other and everybody doing all these different things. All right. You got the websites going on, you got the different websites. If you're not affiliated with this person, they're not going to put your music up. If you're not affiliated with that person, you can't come to the conference unless you're doing this or doing that. All this, it's a bunch of social club that's politics. And where there's politics, it's always room for corruption. It's always room for corruption. That's why you got to keep politics out of it. Because it's corrupt. And now it's a big social club. That's all it is. That's all it is. Nobody's really trying to fellowship. Now you can't even have a conversation without, hey, you got to pay $500 just to talk to the guy. You got to pay money just to talk to somebody. You have to pay money just for all this. And trust me, I'm not saying, I understand that websites cost and all these different things. I'm not against that. But the motive is the problem. And you see the motive all day long. Now, hey, the DJs, they say, hey, you know what? If the secular DJ is going to get paid, we need to get paid too. See, it's the motive behind it. It ain't about breaking records. In the secular industry, it ain't about breaking records. It's about how much money you can pay me, and then I'll spin your record. It ain't about breaking records. Back in the day, it used to be about breaking records. Even in the gospel industry, it was about breaking records. Hey, give me the next this and next that, I'll break the record. Now it's, hey, if the secular artist getting paid, then I need to get paid. Now the motive is getting paid. You're missing it. You're no different than anybody else. Let's look at some scripture. Luke 9:26. Luke 9:26. For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and my words. See that? See, it's not about you being ashamed of him by a title. It's not about stripping the title, but now you're stripping the word. Hey, we don't need to put Jesus in this young generation. They don't need to hear about Christ. They don't need to hear about none of that. This is what the Christian rappers say. They don't need to hear nothing about Christ. And I'm not saying all of them. Let me rephrase that because I don't want people to think that I'm talking about every last one of them. I don't know all of them, but I'm telling you the ones that I've been seeing, the ones I've been watching on YouTube and all these different interviews and all this different stuff. We don't need to put Jesus in the music because Jesus, that, the world don't identify that. And we got to be relevant to the culture and all that. Let me tell you something about culture. We are kingdom people and our God culture is righteousness and fearlessness. That's his culture. For the kingdom of God is without the fearless. If you fearless and worry about what people going to say, you in the wrong business. You might as well just go ahead on and cash in and sign your death certificate right there. Because you working in iniquity. Straight up. You're working in iniquity. Because if you're concerned about that, hey, I got to be relevant and I got to do this and I got to do that. You might as well sign your death certificate right now. All right. Straight up. And we don't need to put the gospel in the music. We don't need to put Christ's name in the music. All because the world ain't going to receive it. The world ain't going to receive you even if you put it there or even if you don't put it there. The world only receives their own, just like Christ receives his own. His own is righteousness. The world is lawlessness. That's it. So if you want to be received, just go ahead and smoke you some trees. If you want to be received, go ahead and screw a whole bunch of women. If you want to be received, go sell some drugs and do all kinds of stuff. The world receives their own. They know when somebody fronting and when somebody real. That's the thing about the world. I don't give the world credit on a whole lot of things, but I will state some facts. And the facts is this. Is that the world can recognize a fronter and a fake. The problem is the body of Christ, you can't even recognize a devil sitting next to you. This is the reason why all kind of stuff be going down in the church. And all the joke got to do is come in there and stand like he looked like he got a form of godliness. And you can't even recognize spiritually that he's a devil or that she's a devil. But yet the world can recognize when you are fake. The world can recognize when somebody is really gangster. They can recognize because they mastered the art. They mastered what it looks like to be real. The problem is you've mastered what it looked like to be fake. And at the end of the day, they recognize, they say, don't believe them. Christians ain't nothing but a bunch of fake and phony people. They not doing nothing. We ain't scared of them. We don't put no fear in us. All right. And so we got to understand and get to this place of what's going on. Now listen to this in the scriptures. Listen to what the Messiah said here. All right. Luke 9:26. He says, for whosoever shall be ashamed of me. You being ashamed of the name? Okay, cool. And my words. So yeah, you can go and say, oh yeah, I'm a Christian rapper, or I'm a rapper that's Christian, or I'm whatever, blah, blah, blah. But in the music, you ain't got no word. Ain't no word in your music. Now, I can agree. I can sit here and some of these churches, some of these pastors, they got every right not to bring your behind in their church. You know why? Because you ain't got no word in your music at all. Zero word, zero parables, zero nothing. And yet when you come in, you got your pants hanging off your butt. You got your hat turned to the side. Now let me explain something to y'all. I ain't got no problem with brothers rocking hats. I don't have no problem with none of that stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I bust a little sag. All right, I'm not talking about that. Brothers, sometimes they wear their belt loose to wear the jean fit kind of loose. I ain't tripping about that. All right, I'm not talking about none of that stuff. But at the same time, you got brothers walking up in there, man. They looking just like the world. All right, this is their first time that they decided that they're going to allow some rap in their church. And all of a sudden, you come up in there, all right? You don't ask, is it the church first time having rap? You don't ask the pastor if it's okay to rock a hat. You don't ask the pastor none of this stuff. You don't understand protocol. You don't understand none of this, but all you want to do is rap. All you want to do is just rap. You want to wear all this other stuff, all right? All right, trying to just look like the world and be like the world and all this other stuff. Now, again, I told you, I rap the gospel, all right? So I'm not hating on nobody. Those of you who know, I rap this thing. I rap the gospel. But at the same time, come on, man. Some of this stuff I see, I'm like, no wonder. You don't even understand protocol. You don't have no etiquette. You don't have none of that stuff. You come up in there, no word in your music. You come up in there with pants sagging down to your butt. They can see your drawers. You got skinny jeans, all kind of stuff. They just state the pastor just because he say, okay, I'm gonna let rap in the church. So you know what he do? He go on YouTube and he go look at some rappers, and he done looked at some rappers before, and you walk up in there, you looking just like Kanye or whoever else, and they're like, oh man, come on, man. No, man. So they automatically throw up a wall because it's no difference. I'm not saying going there with a shirt and tie on and hard bottoms and all rapping in a three-piece suit, double-breasted. I ain't talking about none of that stuff. But there is a certain level of understanding and character that you must have in order to bring truth. Now, again, if you're ashamed of me and my words, okay? At the end of the day, it's all about preaching the gospel. If you do it in the music, you need to make sure, if you're rapping music and you're rapping the gospel and represent the kingdom, there needs to be some gospel in your music. At the end of the day, I don't care how you do it. I'm not saying you got to quote 1,000 scriptures, but at some point, people should be able to tell the difference between your music and what they just heard on the radio on the secular industry, Lil Uzi Vert and all this kind of stuff. And another thing, let me explain something to you. Why in the world does everybody that say they represent the gospel and carry this Bible, why you always got to bite what the word created? How in the world you supposed to be the salt of the earth, supposed to be separate, and every time a dance come out, every time a song come out, you turn around, you got to copy what they doing. Wait a minute, we are the trendsetters. We are the ones that we are the salt of the earth. We're supposed to lay the foundation. Everybody's supposed to be following us. But the problem is you following everybody else. And the more you follow the world, the more they going to let you follow them. And the more they not going to follow you. So we got to get this thing done, man. Let's keep reading here. All right. It says, for whosoever shall be ashamed of me and my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed. The Lord said, you going to be ashamed of me? Oh, we don't need the gospel in the music. We don't need to say Christ in the music. The Lord said, okay, cool. I'm going to be ashamed of you. So you don't want to represent me, but I know somebody, I know somebody. This is what the Lord said. The Lord said, I know somebody in the secular industry. I'm looking at their heart, and I see in their heart that they are willing to do right by me. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a spirit on him to declare my name. And then and through the process, he may not have it all together, but yet I'm going to use him or her or whoever it is to declare my name in the rap industry or in the R&B industry as a secular artist. Okay, I'm going to use them. They ain't got it all together yet, but I'm going to make them something that they're not. And what they is in them, but it ain't came out of them yet. So I'm going to mold them and sculpt them. Yeah, during the process, they're going to have some humps and bumps along the way. But the expected end, I've already seen the expected end. And they shall declare my name. Ultimately, in the end, they're going to have humps and bumps through the process, but I'm going to walk with them because their heart is willing to declare my name. And if the Lord, all he needs to do is find somebody whose heart is willing to declare it. They ain't got to be perfect. They don't have to have it all together. But if they got a willing heart, the Lord say, look, hey, you got a willing heart? Okay, all right, cool, come on. I need you to declare this because I'm going to take the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Those of y'all that think you're wise, oh, I'm wise. I'm in the gospel. I rap. I'm this, I'm that. I run the circle. I'm a part of this big church. I'm the youth pastor of this big church, but I rap. And the Lord said, I'm going to take those things that you think is foolish in the world and I'm going to confound your behind. Why? Because you are ashamed of my word. You've downplayed it. You've watered it down. You've milked it. You've done everything that needs to be done to it. And I declared and told you, I need you to proclaim my name. I need you to proclaim my gospel. But since you don't want to do it, I got somebody over across town in the secular industry, and I'm going to use them to declare my name. I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, the Lord ain't playing. His word is going to be declared. Look here. What happened to Balaam? What happened to Balaam in the book of Numbers? The Lord told him, hey, look, don't go down there. Guess what the Lord did? The Lord said, okay, I'm going to give you one more time. I'm going to use the donkey to talk. I'm going to let the donkey, because since you can't comprehend what I'm saying, because I know you're not going to listen to a man if I tell you. If I send a man your way, you won't even listen to me when I speak into your being. I'm speaking into your being, Balaam, to tell you not to go there, not to go down that road. But guess what you did? You're going to do it. So I ain't going to send a person because you won't even listen to me in your being. So sending a person is not going to do you no good. I'm going to use the donkey to make sure that you are confounded. I'm going to use the donkey that's going to make sure that you get this thing. All right. He said he take the foolish things of the world. That is foolish to the world. That a donkey will turn around and begin to talk to a man to tell him, don't you see this angel on this road? I'm not moving one step. I don't care how much you push me. I don't care how much you kick me, because the donkey sometimes and the animals sometimes got more common sense than what God, who is the people who's supposed to be God's greatest creation. Yet the donkey, the chicken, the rooster, the alligator, the Komodo dragon, anybody, the butterfly, anybody got more common sense than the doggone people. The Lord tell the butterfly, don't fly today, and the butterfly ain't gonna move. The Lord tell the winds and the waves to obey his will. He tell the ocean, don't go past the shoreline, and the ocean don't do it. It got more obedience than people who's supposed to be God's greatest creation. Now let's keep going here, man. Let's keep getting to it. All right. Verse number 26 here in Luke chapter number 9. He says, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he shall come in his own glory and in his Father's and of the holy angels. Not only that, man, look here. Not only is the Lord going to be ashamed of you while you still in earth, but when it's time to get to heaven, when it's time to get in New Jerusalem that's coming down out of heaven, the Lord said, I'm going to be ashamed of you there too. I'm not going to use you in the flesh. So you know I ain't going to use you in the spirit, because you don't want to act right. Let's move on here. 1 Kings chapter number 19. Watch this. 1 Kings chapter number 19, verse number 17. Because sometimes we get into this place where we think, oh, when I come into the faith, I come into the truth, it's all about me. When I come into the truth, it's this, it's that. When I come into the truth, and the Lord gonna do this, the Lord gonna do. Sometimes we get to a place where we think we really have arrived and God is the only one using us. And so sometimes when you see it throughout, you see the Christian rappers, you see all of a sudden their names start growing, they start getting big and this, that. Now all of a sudden, now sometimes some of them get to a place where they think their own hands have gotten them in this position. And the Lord said, you ain't the only one. You think you're the only one because your name's bigger than somebody else. The Lord said, in fact, you ain't the only one. You think you arrived because your name is bigger than somebody else? Let me show you that you're not the only one. And the people who I'm really with, they ain't got no big name. Let me show y'all something here. All right. 1 Kings chapter number 19, verse number 17. Watch this. And it shall come to pass that him that escapeth the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay. And him that escapeth from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay. Verse 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which shall not kiss him. The Lord said, you think you're the only one? The Lord said, I got some folks. Yeah, you a prophet. Yeah, the people know you a prophet. You think you're the only one? I got 7,000 that the people don't even know about. And they more faithful to me than you are. People don't know how they living. They don't know their lifestyle. They don't know none of that stuff. But yet you so caught up and you really think you the only one? The Lord said, it's 7,000. He said, I have left 7,000. That ain't even about the bill. See, y'all, we've gotten to a place of confusion. We think because we got a name that we somebody. We think that because we got a name and we on top in the Who's Club, we think that we the only one. I'm the best rapper. I'm the biggest Christian rapper. I'm the best rapper. Everybody know me. I hang out with the best rappers. I'm on all the websites. I'm at every conference. I'm doing it. And the Lord's looking at you like, okay, and that don't please me. You still ain't doing my will because you taking my name off of my message and you taking my word out of the message. So I don't care. I don't care how big your name is. The Most High said, it doesn't matter how big your name, because you in the lights and you got you selling out all these records. The church is buying all your records. The Lord said, I don't care about that. He said, I have 7,000 that is placed to the side that don't have big names, and they are more faithful because I'm all about faithfulness. The Lord don't need you to be relevant. He needs you to be righteous. He will make your name great. He will make you relevant. The problem is people are moving in the area of relevant, but yet they're compromising, not knowing the difference between being relevant and compromising. And when you don't know the difference between that, you put yourself in a bad position. And at the end of the day, the Lord looked and said, he said, look, you think you're the only one? You are not the only one. We have to get to that place to where even if our name grows and people know us, we have to always keep in mind that we are in a position to be obedient. Our position that we're in is because the God has elevated us to a place to where we can be an example to show everybody else. No, I'm not going to water down the gospel in the message. All because I want the world to receive me. The world isn't the one going to put me in the kingdom and they're not going to take me out of the kingdom. I'm not going to strip the title off of my name and representing Christ all because I want some people to receive me or accept me. The world recognize their own and God recognize his. I'm not into that. And the thing is, we have to get to that place of understanding. And I think they missed it. Now they mad at Kendrick. Why? I don't care if Kendrick called himself a Hebrew Israelite, a Christianite. I don't care. At the end of the day, it's all about whatever the Lord wants to do. And sooner or later, we will know if the Lord is in that or not. I don't spend my time arguing and debating over things that are non-salvation issues. Okay, so if Kendrick want to do that, fine. But you, the Christian rapper, you said you don't want to go by the title of Christian rapper. You said you don't want to put God or Christ in your music, all because you want to reach people. So why am I mad at Kendrick? Because he wants to identify himself as being a Hebrew Israelite. Fine, let him identify that. All I do is, I've been walking with God long enough to where I'm going to sit back and I'm going to pray and I'm going to watch. And if that's what it is, and if he's in it and God is not in it, he'll get moved right on out the way. The Lord does not play. He does not slack. He don't sleep nor slumbers. So I'm not worried about what's going on in that area. But the problem is, you're mad at somebody else all because you decided to turn your back on the Creator. You decided to turn your back on Christ and water down your message, all in the name of trying to reach somebody, when none of the apostles, none of the disciples, none of them watered down their message to be relevant to reach people. But yet we say we follow the apostles' doctrine. If we're going to do that, then we can't be watering down our message. We are not fearful people. We are kingdom people. We fear our Creator. We fear our God. We don't fear man. So at the end of the day, if you don't accept me all because I got evangelists on my name, or you don't accept me all because I'm preaching the gospel, then fine. It's not about me getting along with you. It's about me declaring the acceptable year of the Lord. It's about me presenting salvation to the world. That's all it's about. You don't have to like me. You can block me, unfriend me. It does not matter. At the end of the day, I'm doing my assignment, and we need to make sure that we're all doing our assignment. All of us are going down different roads, but it's still the same destination, and that is preaching the gospel without being shamed. That is preaching the gospel to make sure that all men, no matter what race, color, have an opportunity at salvation. Again, I told you, I got people on my page who believe all kind of stuff. All right. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do my assignment. I'm going to do what the Lord told me to do. And that's it. I'm not here to be friends, to be buddies. But if we're going to be family in the kingdom, then we need to be family in the kingdom. But nobody should be watering down with their message in order to appease people, all in the name of being relevant. It makes no sense. Now, let's keep going here. Let's go to Romans chapter number 11, verse number 1. All right, Romans chapter 11, verse number 1. I say then, has God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. God has not cast away his people, which he foreknew. Wot ye not what the scriptures saith of Elias? Now, we just read that in 1 Kings. All right, so Paul is quoting from Kings, all right, to make a point here. All right, how he maketh intercession to God against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and dig down thy altars, and I am left alone. See, he thought he was the only one. He thought he was the only one. That's how we get. Sometimes we get to a place of our name be getting so great, or our name get big amongst people, and we think we're the only ones to do it. We think we're the best one out here. We think we're the only one. And the Lord said, look, hold on, you're not the only one. Let me explain something to you. Let's read it. Verse number 4. He says, He said, but what saith the Lord God unto him? Paul said, what did God say unto him? He said, I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed to the image of Baal. The Lord said, I got people that people don't know of. I got people who nobody know. They don't have no big names. They not even, they all they care about is pleasing God. They not around here trying to establish and make a name for themselves. Now, there's nothing wrong with going on television shows. There's nothing wrong with going on radio shows. There's nothing wrong with doing conferences or lectures or anything of that nature. It's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but your motive and your agenda should not be doing something to make your name great. Let God make your name great. Let him, if your heart is pure and you're obedient to what he told you, and it's all about him, then the Lord is going to make sure the people know who you are. But when you're driven and, hey, let me go to this conference. Let me go to that conference. Let me hook up with this guy. Let me hook up with that guy. Oh, that guy look like he got something going on that's going to help me. Let me do this. And your whole agenda is hooking up with people because you want to get to a place, then you got a problem. Because don't nobody open the doors but God. He has the keys to every single door. Now, there's nothing wrong with making relationships and having a relationship if the motive is correct. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of brothers on Facebook that I see, and I'm like, man, you know, I'm gonna link up with that brother and talk to him. The motive is linking up with them and for fellowship. It's not to get connected to what they got going on. Now, if the Lord in the process opens up the door and the brother says, hey, man, I would like you to be on my show, or I would like you to come speak at this or come speak at that. The Lord opened up the door, that is fine. But the agenda is not to link up to get somewhere. The agenda is linking up for fellowship. That's what it is, because each and every last one of us got a different path we going down. Your path is not my path, but both of our assignments ultimately is to lead to the kingdom. That's it, because all of us are made up differently. We have different makeups. We've gone through different things in life that the Lord will use to his advantage to bring people into the kingdom. Okay, now let's keep reading here. Watch this. Let's go to Jeremiah, because it's a terrible thing. Let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter number 5, verse number 21. Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 21. Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding. The Lord said, hear this. Because the things that you're doing, you're foolish. It's foolish to dilute or downplay the Lord's name in order to be relevant. Or you feel as though you got to dilute and downplay something in order for the gospel to be advanced. People died being unashamed pushing this gospel. All them brothers died. All them, the people that they discipled, some of them died too. None of them folks was ashamed. That's why they got put to death. Them brothers got thrown in jail, got beat up, all kind of stuff. And they go right back on the street corner after they get out of jail. Not ashamed, not watering down nothing. Ain't about being relevant. It's about declaring the scriptures, declaring the truth. But yet, now cats want to, they want to water this down. The Lord said, you foolish. Now you foolish for doing that. And even thinking that that's going to move me. When you think that that's going to move him by downplaying his name, you foolish. Let's keep reading. He said, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, because you don't understand the scriptures. Nor do you understand the character of God. With have eyes, the Lord said, you can see in the natural and see not, because you can't see spiritually. Which have ears, you can hear in the natural and hear not. You can't hear spiritually. That's a bad thing. It's a bad thing to not be able to see spiritually nor hear spiritually. That's a bad thing. You can't hear the Lord talking and speaking in your being and warning you about going different paths and different areas and different things, or him speaking and telling you, hey man, look, this person that you're dealing with, you don't need to deal with them. And then you can't see spiritually. The Lord trying to reveal something and you can't see it because you blind. Your spirit got cataracts. It's a whole bunch of people got cataracts. Straight up. Let's keep reading. Verse number 22. Fear ye not me. The Lord said, you don't fear me. Because if you feared me, you wouldn't be doing the things that you're doing and saying the things that you're saying. He said, fear ye not, saith the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence? You fear the world more than you fear me. That's why you downplaying me to get accepted by them. Which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea. The Lord said, you can see that I'm real by my creation. When now all these atheists and all these other people start talking about if God real this, God real, just look at creation. Just look at how the waters go up on the shore and don't go past it until the Lord said. Now, when it's time for the water to go past the shoreline, that's when the Lord done said, hey, our waters go past the shoreline. They gonna do what he say do. Let's keep reading. All right. The sand of the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree. The Lord said, I declare this. I gave a decree to the waters that it cannot pass it. The Lord said, I declare to the water, do not go past the sand. Don't go past the shoreline. And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. The Lord said, even the waves, you go out on the beach, you see the waves coming, doosh, doosh. Dudes, and that water not going past where the Lord told it to go. It don't matter how many waves come, how big the waves come. That water is not going past where the Lord said don't go past. And the waves got more sense not to go against what God said. The waves ain't trying to downplay what God said. The waves aren't trying to be relevant to get people to come to the beach. The waves is just doing what it's told to do. And it's God who has people amazed at his creation to want to be a partaker of his creation. The waves just saying, shh. The wave, they going up to the shoreline and coming back. The waves ain't trying to be relevant, hey dog, hey, let's go a little higher. We're going to get the people down here. Let's go a little higher. Hey man, hey, wave, won't you get a little faster? So that way the people can come more. Hey, shoreline, won't you just go up a little bit? Won't you just go up a little bit more? The people will be amazed. Hey, brother. Hey, Wade, won't you stop, just be calm because you scaring the people. Hey, the shoreline don't tell the waves to be calm because he's scaring the people. The waves and the shoreline doing exactly what it's told to do, and that's it. All right, let's look at what the scriptures say here. It says, and though the waves. He said, bound by the sea perpetual. He said, and though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail? Though they roar, yet can they not pass over? The Lord said, though they roar, can they not pass? They can pass over it, but they're not going to pass over because I told them not to. Now, when it's time for them to pass over the shore, that's when I told them, hey, waves, I need you to go take out. I need you to go in the city. As soon as the Lord say go in the city, the waves gonna say, okay. All right, city, y'all gone. The waves don't care about how many people in the city. The waves don't care about none of that. The waves don't care about how big your buildings is, how fast your cars is. All the waves gonna do is do just what the Lord told it to do. But for some reason, we hard-headed and we don't do what the Lord told us to do. We don't do it. Let's keep reading, y'all. All right, we're going to end right here. All right, verse number 23. But this people have a revolting and rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. Verse number 31. Verse number 30. A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely. The leaders within the game, the Christian rap, they prophesying falsely. They talking about you gotta be relevant. Y'all young artists, if you want to be big time, if you want to get to this level, you gotta water down your music. You got prophesying lies. And the priests bear rule by their own means. They make up their own rules as they go. And my people love to have it so. All the young artists, they love it. They love to have it so. Oh man, that's some great thing. Man, you see how big he is? He gotta be telling the truth. I want to get to that level, so I got to do what they got to do. You love it. The priests prophesying lies, the prophets prophesying lies, and the people love it. They are gravitating to it and doing exactly what they do because they love it so. And what will ye do in the end? They don't say, what you going to do in the end? What you going to do in the end? What you going to do in the end? What are you going to do in the end? Yeah, you became relevant. People knew your name and all this kind of stuff. You downplayed my music and all this stuff. But what's going to happen in the end? Brothers and sisters, I pray that you cannot eat without eating from the word of God. For man shall not live by bread alone, but every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. I pray that you cannot drink without drinking from the living water that flows from Christ. Let the light that is within you shine bright outside of you. And remember to love one another so that the world may know that we serve the true and living God. See you guys this Saturday in Lounsboro, Alabama, where I'll be down there teaching. And it's near Montgomery, Alabama. So if you in the area, please do come out. And also, if you need any information or directions or flyer or anything like that, inbox me or whatnot. If you have any questions, inbox me and I'll definitely get back to you at a timely manner. All right. Grace to you all. Shalom, peace, blessings, and grace. All right. Love all of you with the love of Christ. Have a good day.